The Jim and Terry Show coming to you still. Shall I use the words bunker and Bob Cajun? Because we, as Canadians, have been under threat of economic war. We've been under threat of physical war by those F-35s, or else NORAD will not exist, or we will use F-35s, our own F-35s. America saying that. They will use their own F-35s to patrol what should have been Canadian F-35s territory. They will do flyovers, fly-throughs, flybys. They will do everything. They'll do what they want.
Apparently the planes...
Just chill out, Canada.
Apparently the planes down more than it's up, so it may be technologically advanced, but it costs like $45,000.
So are we starting off with the
$45,000
controversy of F-35s versus the Gripen?
Gripen's $8,000 an hour to fly. The other one is $40,000. Which would win in a fight? The F-35. But if we're at war with the United States, it doesn't matter if we only got 88 F-35s if they can shut them down. Yeah. So what difference does it make? You might as well do what I said, move back warfare and just blow up everything behind them.
Have you heard any conclusive contract being signed for F-35s?
I haven't, but I'm growing bored of it. So I'm not necessarily springing to that. Last I understand, we're probably going to end up having to suck back 35 of them, and at a great cost. But the thing is they've doubled in price. I mean, the cost of these things are ridiculous. So I don't know what to do other than hope that maybe the company goes out of business and they can't make them anymore.
Boeing? Is it Boeing who does that?
And if Canada makes a jet, I'd love them to call it the Arrow.
I wonder if they would allow us to do that. And whoever, the United States will not.
Yeah.
I heard somebody say if we do get either new F-35s or new Gripens, they should call it the Fu-47s. It's sort of like elbows up Canada. Whoa! I'm kind of
mics and everything. Oh, jeez.
I noticed I put the mic.
This is called nervous breakdown. Eh?
Nervous breakdown. This is called my call with my friend from Bible college was like this, where there was a lot of laughing, but in the end, I pointed out, Gary, here's a shout out to Professor Gary K. Waite of the University of New Brunswick, Professor Emeritus of History, 16th century specialist. And we are talking, this is a sidebar to where we're going. So remember, we're talking about
Now you're pulling off a Jim.
No, I zigged when I should have zagged. That's my life at this point. The conversation was going on witch trials. And that's one of the areas that he investigates. Now he's looking at how people were chosen, and it was misogyny because it's women. What are men afraid of that women are doing? Well, they were the healers, and they were the ones who provided counsel and
No, I didn't sleep with the guy, so he says she's a witch.
There you go. Was that a W or a B? I don't know what it was. But the similarities between ICE and witch trials was something that we discussed. And
the Gestapo?
Well, yeah. It's like the whispers of how you can round people up. Do you remember the people who... I think it was a woman who drove by the Hyundai battery plant with the Hyundai workers and said, look at all those people. They're not Americans. And they rounded them all up and put them on a plane.
And South Korea flew them back home and said, screw you.
Yeah, we're not operating that.
And that's why I'm hoping Canada will be able to negotiate some good deals. We're not the United States, but they want the American market. You can't deal with people like this anymore. And that's part of the problem with the ignorance of some American citizens, not being stupid now. I'm just saying uneducated in the world, and
or just not paying attention,
or not paying attention. Her pointing to those people who are earning a living, not realizing she's pointing to experts in that field who are trying to set up a factory for you, and she'll be sitting there in the coffee shop going, "Yeah, it was me, man. I'm the one who got them all arrested out of here. Those whatever." Or whatever they are, whatever, they're not American.
They're not
white. So I got them, and you just caused billions of dollars for your whole neighborhood.
Yeah, your whole neighborhood.
Yeah, and there, I can't stand the thought of you're sitting at church or your card club or whatever, and embarrassed your nation and everything else. And that the thing that bothers me is you da-di-da-di-da-di-do, skip off in your prejudices, not understanding the mess you just caused.
We wouldn't have even known about that event if she didn't post the video saying, I did that.
Yeah, look what I did.
It sounds like
I'm
Steve
smart.
Urkel. Did I do that?
I turned them all in. You silly woman.
Okay, so there's...
Or silly man,
or
whoever's
whoever.
next. Yeah.
But the point is, you're looking at pointing fingers at somebody else and saying, you're not American.
Yeah.
Like the movie Civil War. What kind of American are you? I'm the kind that points fingers and said, you don't belong here.
Yeah, and that's the basis of that is fear, eh?
Yes.
That's the basis of all of that, those prejudices.
What's the antidote to fear in the Bible?
Faith, I guess.
Perfect love casts out fear.
Well, the thing is, it's like we talked about earlier before we even did the show. You can't force the hand of God. So when you got generals saying, go in there, die, because
it's God's will, just keep talking.
Yeah, okay, we're just having some technical difficulties. If you're going in there saying it's God's will, we're going in there, this is a holy war, this is the war that's going to end all wars. How arrogant of you determining what is the end of time. So
And God's will.
Well, it's going to be wars. And so this really could be the end times. I'm telling you, I've never seen it so much. It really could. Because right now there's something like 10 nations involved in this war. None of them NATO right now, well, other than the United States. All the Gulf nations
Gulf
are now
states, yeah.
having to defend themselves. They're now in this war. You pulled them in there. Doesn't mean it's the war to end all wars.
No.
So you saying that is you're trying to push the hand of God. You can't. And as Christians, I said earlier, and please nobody get this wrong, but I said, I want to strive to be perfect. I'm not going to be, folks. Stop laughing. But what I meant is Jesus said, be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. That's the mark. And you strive for that. That's the mark you strive for. So if you want to be perfect, who do you look at? In Christianity, and those generals are claiming they are, then you look at Christ and how he lived his life. Show your gentleness. Be kind to others. Love your enemies.
What? There's nowhere about bombing the snot out of people?
Nothing in there
Nothing.
like that. Let your gentleness be known.
The fruit of the Spirit.
Walk meekly before your Lord. All of these things is what you should really be looking at. And that's what you're striving for, that kind of perfection which was in Christ. Now, I'm referring to the Christian generals here. They're saying, go there. This is the war that end all wars. We're wiping out the Arabs. That is they're saying that. That's not necessarily the end, because all those countries around that whole body of water, like 10 of them, they're now at war. And they want it to continue on because they don't know what they're going to do now since Trump betrayed them by going to war. All their economy is going to hell in a handbasket, including all the, are you going to go to Dubai? Yeah, are you going to go to Dubai now and vacation there? Chances not. Chances are you get a real good deal, too, if you did decide you wanted to go now.
So is money, as you pointed out in a couple of podcasts, money the root of all evil? Is money behind this war in Iran? And is money really barrels of oil?
Money is, I think, going to become a part of this because Trump gathered around himself, people, sycophants, whatever you call them.
You're right.
So he's gathered them around. I can see it even go to the point that saying, okay, generals, we're going to go to war. I'm going to announce it here. I'm going to change my mind, and then we're going to go. You put your bets on this, and you can get your billions of dollars. And if you keep following me and if you keep being loyal to me, you will be rich. I do believe that.
Do you think loyalty in the military is a monetized commodity now? It's
Not by
not
the
loyalty.
average-
It's not loyalty to the Constitution. It's loyalty to Trump.
The average good American man who's gone and enlisted and signed up to go to war are good, God probably fearing people in whatever God there is. Probably those are the people. But he's put around him people like Hegseth, who just spews out of his mouth the immaturity of what he is. So
Keep going. Oh, the Jim and Terry Show.
I'm sorry I spewed a lot
That's okay.
this time.
Remember the tattoo on Pete Hegseth's arm, the Deus Vult, God's will, which is a white nationalist kind of expression. Beware, caveat
beware
emptor.
of people telling God what His will is.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I can't sing it any better than that.
Relationship I had.